The eThekwini Municipality has set aside 1.2 billion rand for sanitation infrastructure repairs. This as dozens of suburbs have been experiencing sewage leaks due to broken infrastructure. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan has been reporting on this crisis and joins us now for the latest. Karinda, thanks for making time. What has the city done to intervene?
Certainly. So at the last budget council meeting, we were told by the eThekwini mayor that 1.2 billion rand has been set aside for sanitation repairs. We know that the municipality is aware of the sewage issue across the municipality, but we also know that they're aware of what's happening in Westville. My colleague Lungelo Zungu will show you the place where we are now. We've just gotten here and we can smell the sewage from the creek that's running through here. The route that we're on is a Comrades Marathon route, actually, so some of the verges and some of the sewage just nearby has been cleared, but this situation remains. So I'm going to bring in Sean, who's one of the residents, and please bear with us because it is a bit of a confined space here. But Sean, thanks for speaking to us. I think let's just talk about, you live nearby and you smell the sewage regularly. What's the smell like for you on a daily basis?
Well, you're greeted by this putrid smell in the morning, and then when you come home in the evening, you're greeted by the exact same smell. It's quite unbearable. You can't have browse outside, can't leave windows open at night because you just get the stench. So when there's load shedding, then you've got to sit in the hot air because you have no fans, no air cons. So opening the windows is not an option. It just really stinks, and kids can't play outside. So we kind of just confined into our little homes, or we've got to go out. So yeah, there's quite an unbearable smell. It's just pure sewage, and you can smell it from the morning through to the evenings.
Very briefly, what are your concerns about health? I mean, we know that in parts of the province there's a cholera outbreak, not necessarily related to sewage, but it's still a concern regarding bacteria.
Sure, and obviously having young kids as well, you know, they are inquisitive and they want to go and play, and we want to run across to the school field and go across the canal, and can't do it because there's just this stench, and you know, the actual sewage, the raw sewage is flowing there on a daily basis. I mean, I took my kids across there the other day. I had to almost throw them across because we can't stand in there, and you know, it's just really not sanitary at all, and I am very concerned, obviously, for my kids.
Sean, thank you so much for speaking to us. As we just show our viewers again, the sewage there, you can see where it's going through the tree bark. That is sewage, and while you look at that, here's the eThekwini speaker, Thabani Nyaose. He's speaking about Section 154 measures. Essentially, right now, the eThekwini Council might undergo Section 154 intervention, and this means there will be an intervention from the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Department from a provincial and national level to intervene in the various crises in the city and ensure that money that is supposed to be spent on infrastructure repairs is being spent. The city has admitted to their failings when it comes to water and sanitation. So here's Speaker Thabani Nyaose commenting on that aspect.
Section 154 means that the provincial government have identified some weaknesses or areas where, as a city, we are struggling. They are coming to give us support on areas where we are struggling. I can tell you that the one area where we seem to have challenges is the issue of water and sanitation, of which we welcome whatever support from national government and provincial government for us as a city to address our challenges that we have accepted. In the State of the City address, the mayor was on record admitting that we do have a challenge in terms of water provision and sanitation in our city. That is our understanding. COGTA might have other issues that they've identified where we need support.
Well, there you have it. Indeed, you hear that the city is aware of the failings with regards to water and sanitation. 1.2 billion rand has been set aside for sanitation repairs specifically, and they have said through their council budget votes that various wastewater treatment sites are being repaired. But what the residents say, not just here in Westville, but from other areas we've spoken or we've visited, they say that they want more fast-tracked intervention because this has been going on for years now. And seemingly it's a really bad smell, seemingly the broken infrastructure is affecting the health of residents as well. Of course, we know that this Westville Ratepayers Association is taking up the matter in terms of litigation. There are other opposition political parties as well following suit, but we also know that the Provincial Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs Department is also considering litigation against the municipality over this environmental health hazard issues. So this, of course, as we stand here, some parts of Westville, the stench is more stronger than other parts, but even just when you're speaking, you can almost taste that pungent odor of sewage, and residents have been living this for a long time. Like I mentioned earlier, the areas of Lamontville, south of Durban, the areas of La Mercy, north of Durban, all experiencing the same thing, sewage overflowing in their communities, and at least here in Westville, residents say they've had enough. Back to you.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you for that update.